We are here with Curt. We are talking about Sans Yesterday, your newly released debut album, um, which does really seem to be like an anthology of you if you kind of go back through your different iterations of Bixby Knowles, Strange Phases, and now you've reached this kind of climatic moment of your solo debut album. Um, what was been the process on this album for you?
Just like you said, it's a bit of an anthology, even though it's a debut album. That wasn't the intention at all. But it's been a long, slow process that started around the top of the pandemic. And there had been a lot of songs written in that time, but almost half of those were scrapped. And I resurrected some older songs from previous projects that kind of fell apart at the seams after all that stuff hit 5 years ago. And I brought back a song from Strange Phases and one from Red Hearts, White Ribbons. Remastered and remixed them. And then it just kind of came together at that point. Well, at least for me, it felt cohesive. And I don't know, it just got the point across. Whatever that means.
Can you talk about maybe what's your favorite song from this album currently?
I would have to say that it's the title track, Sans Yesterday. I feel like that song just emotes everything I'm feeling now in life. It just encapsulates this type of existential dilemma, and it's a deep cut. I'm a sucker for those. It's one of those songs that it hit all at once. The lyrics, the melody, the music, the style. It's one of those things that you feel like you don't write, like your psychological hand isn't really dipped into it. It just comes to you. And I feel like, for a lot of artists, like those are the best songs and those are the ones that connect. And really that's what it's about, right? Connecting. Not tomorrow since yesterday, forgetting all that you know. In your dreams, come out to play. Nothing you need to know.
Your whole existential crisis of life.
Yeah, probably.
It does have a very like kind of dreamy alternate universe, kind of like Lynchian vibe to it. I would say like I can see some of the songs on this album being in like David Lynch's kind of Twin Peaks Roadhouse. To be honest,
Thank you.
yeah, of course he doesn't want that, but it does. This Sans Yesterday, the song itself, plus the album, I will say there's like a very immersive experience happening. What do you think how do you think your creative process has shifted over the years from your different kind of groups?
I think nowadays, well, let's just start by saying I think most artists always feel like they're making their best work at the current moment, right? Or at least that's what we hope for. It's not always the case, but who's judging? And I think that the biggest difference, something that stands out to me now, there's just a lot more clarity, and that comes with experience. I've been doing this for a long time. It's been like 3 decades of writing and performing music. So now I feel there's a sense of, it's a sense of being genuine. Not that I wasn't before in the past, but I think there's just a lot more focus on what's coming from within. It's not like there's a lot less self-judgment. There's still a lot of self-judgment. That's a tough one. I don't know if there ever will not be. But there's a lot less nowadays. And so the music is a lot more honest with myself.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of getting into your own like weird idiosyncrasies of like life or your interest, and like blocking out like what culture thinks is important, or what even like friends or even like your family. You're always like seeking approval like some way somehow. So, but I mean, I do think as it relates to this topic, like music, it is really like a vehicle to help facilitate like emotional healing, and I think that for a lot of, I'm not a musician per se, but I feel like I am very like embedded. Music is really important to me. It has been like, one of those few spaces where like maybe you find understanding for your emotions in a song or something you can't kind of like qualify, but like it's resonating with you or it's giving you a different perspective. And I feel like for you as the artist, that's engaged in the music, like how you, maybe view it as this vehicle to like help facilitate emotional healing.
Well, first of all, it's very healing to myself. And then maybe at that point, it can be internally healing to others, spiritually healing, if I can say that. It's music itself is very healing. It's very communicative, very visceral process, right? So if it's healing for the writer, the creator, for myself, then it might stand a chance to reach out to somebody else, right? It has to be genuine. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And if it's not, everyone can see through that. You don't have to be a musician or artist. Like you feel that it's lacking something. And I definitely hope not to come across that way. I want it to be healing, of course. It is for me. And the whole process of creating this record and music in general is very healing. Someone did a little review and it said rock noir. And I was like, that's a new genre right there. See, that's it. I'm taking that one.
That sounds great.
But I didn't really intend it. I didn't have an intention for it to be like this kind of dark, moody thing, but that's what happened.
That's why I was saying it feels very Lynchian. It also has got that kind of like uplifting quality to it, which I think is kind of like something that David Lynch did really well. He was able to like marry really dark elements with some type of light. And I do feel like that is present on this album.
Oh, I like that.
What are some thoughts that you have about the future of, I would say artistic creativity music as it relates to technology with AI and all the kind of different, consumer models that we're seeing right now?
It's a strange time. We're just up against technology, consumerism, and the industry itself, which has always been tainted, so it's no new thing, not, at least not for someone who's just always been in this esoteric kind of underground realm. And this is just the struggle and the fight, but it also brings a lot of, I think, energy, to have something to go up against. I mean, it would be nice to be living comfortably off of this, but I'm just so used to it personally. Like we'll see what happens. Here's the thing. Everyone finds a way through it. It's like all these mechanical ideas and corporations, how, they try to package everything and make their own buck off of it. But at the end of the day, I think everyone sees through it. And if it just becomes something so mainstream, in that eclectic underground realm, like we always find ways around it. Like it's nothing to worry about.